need to organize some areas in my kitchen. I have to fix a sofa. I don't know how I'm going to do that yet. But alas, I have a sofa that the kids have done a number on, and it's definitely seen better days. So really all it needs is to be reupholstered. So I gotta figure out how to do that today. I've got some cleaning to do. And now that the holidays are over, it's time to work on some recipes that are maybe a little lighter to help shed a few of those holiday pounds. And yeah, it's just gonna be a homemaking, organizing, a little bit of cooking, a little bit of everything in this video. I don't know if we're gonna get to all of this today, but let's see what we can get done. I really love the aesthetics of countertops with nothing on them, that clean and pristine kitchen look. I don't know how people do it though. I don't know how people that cook from scratch and have families do that. I have tried and I've tried and I've tried, but I've never been able to figure out. I've had counters cleaned off completely at times and it just never works for us. So instead of fighting it, I've decided, let's just go with this, at least for now. I'm not the only cook in the home. If I was, I probably wouldn't be able to have a YouTube channel or homeschool or anything because we have a larger family and do cook from scratch, and so I would be cooking all the time. So half the family cooks. My oldest son cooks, he's a young adult. My husband cooks, my oldest daughter cooks, she's about to become an adult. My 14-year-old cooks, the 11-year-old, he started making his own peanut butter and jelly sandwiches when he was 2. I heard in the morning noises in the kitchen. It was very early one Sunday morning, and I heard these noises coming from the kitchen. So I got up to see what was going on. I thought, is that a mouse? It was not a mouse. It was my 2-year-old. He found the peanut butter, he found a butter knife, he found the bread, and he was making his own peanut butter and jelly sandwich. And since he couldn't quite reach the table, he was doing it on the floor. He always wakes up extra early and he wants to eat as soon as he wakes up. He's always been this way. And as a 2-year-old, he watched me so closely when I was in the kitchen, and he knew where everything was at like 2.5, 3 years old. If my husband, who was just starting to cook at that time, didn't know where something was and I wasn't home, the 3-year-old knew where it was. He's like, he would point and be like, it's up there, and it's up there. It was really neat. Anyways, he is 11 now and he cooks. Point is, my whole family cooks, or over half the family now at this stage, because I've got older kids. So I need to make a kitchen that works for everybody. I need my kitchen to work for everybody, and it just works for everybody much better if some of the things that we use, like the spaghetti, and these are our oats for breakfast, we use them almost every day. So since we use it every day, I decided, let's get some more canisters, use them. Let's use them. We've got all this counter space. I don't have a lot of upper cabinet space because, as you can tell, my kitchen is windows. There's so many windows in my kitchen, so there's no place to put like more shelving and upper cabinets. I need to utilize the tops of the counters the best I can, and I want it to look nice. So what I've done is I've invested in more canisters. I found 4 for 21 bucks at Costco. So I'm going to be filling those in this video, or deciding what to put in those. And a little bit later on in this video, I want to show you guys how I reupholstered my sofa. I don't know how many people will be interested in learning how I did that, so I'm going to do a little bit of baking and cooking first. I am going to show you guys how to make one of the recipes on my blog. There is a step in it that confuses a lot of people. It involves a coddled egg. We're going to be making my Caesar salad dressing. This is my family's favorite salad dressing. I don't honestly know. I think maybe some of them might like the ranch a little bit more. I've got that on the blog as well. But I know that like half of the family likes this salad dressing more. This involves a coddled egg, and I have my own way of coddling an egg. I just separate the eggs, the whites from the yolks, and I add some boiling water to cook the egg yolks. Just slightly. There are a lot of videos, YouTube videos, that teach you how to properly coddle an egg, but this is the easy way that I do it that works really well for this salad dressing. Since I have a large family, I times this recipe by 5. I'm using 5 coddled egg yolks. Here is a spread of all of the ingredients. If you would like this recipe though, you can find it on the website. We have got Dijon mustard, anchovies, garlic, apple cider vinegar, salt, lemon juice, peppercorns, olive oil, and of course, the coddled egg yolks. I like to put the garlic and the peppercorns in the blender, and I like to add everything but the olive oil and the Parmesan cheese. Oh yeah, there's Parmesan cheese too. Once I have everything in the blender, I blend it. I don't have a very good blender. This is a new blender. My other blender, it broke down. It was secondhand, it broke down. So I went and I got a fairly inexpensive blender. I think this was only about 20 bucks, and I should have invested in a better blender. This one doesn't work very well, so it's just not very high powered. It doesn't do a very good job. If you have a good blender, it will grind the peppercorns up super fine. This one does not. You guys might notice that I'm doing a little less talking in this video and adding some text along with keeping it a little more peaceful with music. Let me know what you guys think about this. Do you like it better this way, or do you like more talking? Personally, when I'm watching videos like this, I love the combination, and I like probably 2/3 music and reading and maybe 1/3 talking. I have ADHD. Something with ADHD people is they're more productive, most of them are, if there is body doubling. So I like using YouTube videos like mine for body doubling. I have some of my favorite channels that I watch, and it never fails. When I put them on, I just become so much more productive. I got this recipe from family friends when I was a teenager. We had these family friends that we just had the best times with when I was a teenager. We loved going and spending time with them. They lived in Idaho, and they loved coming over and spending time with us. They were our family's best friends when I was a teenager. And I learned how to make this recipe from them. I seriously can never get enough of this salad. Caesar salad is my all-time favorite salad. I do like a really good Greek salad, but I find it's hard to find a good Greek salad that is made the way that I like it. But without fail, you put a Caesar salad in front of me and I become a bottomless pit. Now, people that don't like anchovies don't even know that there are anchovies in this salad dressing. They rave about this salad dressing. I'll be honest, I really don't know if this salad
and salad dressing are going to help you shed holiday pounds, but it does taste seriously amazing. So with all of these peels, see all these lemon peels? I needed 5 lemons for the salad dressing. So I've got 5 peels from the lemons here, or 10, I guess, if you count each piece. I like making my own cleaner with this. Take the lemons like this, the lemon peels, and put them in your jar and add vinegar. Let this sit for about 14 days and you will have the most amazing smelling citrus cleaner. It is just absolutely luxurious smelling. You don't smell much vinegar, and all you smell is lemon. Don't use these on quartz or granite countertops, they'll ruin them, but for other things it works really well. Next, I am making some sweet potato toast for one of my kids. My oldest son, he's not supposed to have wheat, so I am making just a treat for him to help him in his mornings. And this is called a sweet potato toast. Basically, you just slice up your sweet potatoes about 1/4 of an inch thick, spread olive oil on each side, lay them out on a cookie sheet, and bake them until it's cooked and starting to get ever so slightly crisp on the edges and sides. You want to flip them halfway through. You can sprinkle these with some cinnamon or other spices if you like. You could probably even spread them with some jelly. This is something I learned how to do when I was on the AIP diet, which is the autoimmune protocol. I have Hashimoto's hypothyroidism, and I'm supposed to be on the AIP diet or else a low FODMAP diet. They're both very similar. So I'm actually in the process of getting on this diet myself. I was on it once before and my body reacted very well. That was to the AIP. My biggest hurdle with it is it's so hard to cook that way for myself and another way for my family. But now that I got my oldest son who has so many food sensitivities and allergies, it would actually be easier if I did get on it because it would just help both of us simplify a lot of the cooking. The bucks are like, save me from these girls.
I've sewn since I was a teenager. I've sewn dresses and quilts, but I don't like sewing. I think I was probably maybe 25 and I realized I really don't like sewing. And so I just kind of stopped. Sure what I'm doing. I've been thinking about how to do this for about a week now. I think I have a plan. It may be a terrible plan. We'll see if it works. Because this isn't my forte.
In my experience, sewing has never been a way to save money. I've always found that it costed more to buy all of the fabrics and material and patterns for dresses and shirts and things that I used to make my family. And being low income, I found that it just wasn't the wisest use of our finances. Another reason I decided I didn't like sewing was because we had a very, very small house and it was difficult to find a place to sew, but what was more difficult was to find a place to iron things. I was always worried that one of my crawling babies would get into the room where I had the iron, so I just gave up. Oh, and then there was the one time where I ran to the restroom and I came back and the tension had been reset on my sewing machine by one of my children. So I just decided it wasn't the time for me to be sewing. That was about 18 years ago though, and now the kids are older. I don't have to worry about my 20-year-old coming in and resetting the tension on my sewing machine. And with this particular case, trying to reupholster the sofa will be a lot more affordable than buying a new sofa.
All right, here's what I'm thinking. I happen to know that this sofa is largely wood. Down here, at this part, there's wood. And it's probably, it looks like it's maybe like 1/2 inch plywood, maybe less than 1/2 inch. It's probably only 1/4 inch plywood actually. And then along the back, let's see, yeah, you guys can see. So right back here, along back here, there's another piece of wood that goes the entire length. Woo! And I think I can, what I'm gonna do is I'm going to hem the edges of this. I'm gonna cut it to size and I'm gonna hem the edges of this probably multiple times. Probably hem it over maybe like 3 or 4 times actually, so that it's super strong. And what I'm thinking to do is staple it because I can get in there. These are attached. I thought about taking them off and reupholstering them individually, but I want them to stay attached and I don't know how I would reattach them if I took them apart. So I want to leave these attached. So I'm thinking to make this custom fit to size as best I can and then attach it down here with staples, attach it in the back with staples. Over here, I am going to also hem the ends here. I don't know how I will attach them in because I can't really feel anything down there. Oh, there is a piece of wood. I may be able to hem these and attach these to the piece of wood way deep down in here. The corners, I'm going to hem probably inward. I don't know if you guys can see, like this. Anyways, oh, and then way over here, down over here on this side, over here along the side, there's a piece of wood too. And it will be very easy to attach to this, to the sofa. So basically all I need to do is cut it to size, hem the edges multiple times. I want them hemmed over so that they're very strong. Because what I'm thinking to attach them with is staples. I used to work construction and I know how strong staples can be. My husband said, well, maybe you should do screws. And I'm thinking, well, screws might make this get holes in it faster. I think staples will be better. This is very strong fabric. It is fake leather. It's very strong and it's washable. So I'm very happy about that because if my kids spill stuff on this, I'll be able to wash it, just wipe it off. Anyways, I have never done anything like this before. Maybe I should take this out. I can see it's already getting holes, but yeah, see, I can see it's plywood here. It's very strong plywood, so I think I'll be able to attach this to the plywood very well. And it might be better just to cut this part out so I can attach it a little bit more easily. We'll see. I was on the ball enough to pick up upholstery thread and super duper heavy duty needles. They're for denim. I hope that they're going to be good and strong enough for this. I went and changed because I'm the kind of seamstress that I probably would end up sewing my dress up in with the upholstery, knowing me, based off of maybe past experiences. I've hemmed this side once. I want it to be super duper strong. So I'm gonna fold it over probably 2 more times like that, because now it's got the one stitch to help hold it. So I'm thinking that will give it a lot of strength. Now if I do this again and make sure to catch around that on the right side of that stitch again, it should give it even more strength.
To buy a new sofa is, of course, $1,000 to $2,000. I've lost count of how many sofas that we have been through as a larger family. Young kids are hard on sofas. Kids are hard on sofas. It's really shocking what they can do to a sofa, actually. The current sofa we have is still like structurally sound. I think it's got a few more years left of being structurally sound too. The material and thread and supplies only cost about $60. That is way cheaper than buying a new sofa.
All right, I got the back side all hemmed, and it's gonna go stapled in back here along this board that is on the back. Oh, I think it's gonna work out really well. This is gonna have to go on the front because I overlooked something now. I didn't factor in that this is gonna go down in the back. Nope, it's gonna have to. Okay. All right, I already put the other side. I'm only taking this in steps because I knew there was going to be things I overlooked. So this is going to go like this. This. Oh, let's take these off. Okay, what I'm going to do right now is I'm just going to put a couple temporary staples in that I can take out. I just want to make sure I fit this thing correctly. So what I've done with this side is I folded it, because I've tucked it into the side here, and I folded it over. I'm just trying to get a really accurate idea of where I need to stitch the side.
Whenever you're down, out in the cold, faithless and dark, your story's untold. Come take my hand and walk there with me. I know a place where we can be free. There is a light.
All right, I got it lined up enough. I marked the corners where I want to put little stitches back there. And then I marked back here with a dry erase marker. I don't know if it'll come over or not, but it'll never be seen anyways. I marked it where I want the stitches to come to and where I want the seam to be. I've got all of the hems done, the back, front, the sides. I didn't do too much stitching on the corners to make a nice fitted edge because I just don't feel confident enough to do that. So we're gonna use staples because I feel confident with staples.
Shining in the darkest alley, can't you see you will be free? I have been far, I have been wide, searching for peace, somewhere to hide. Now I am free, open and pure, fearless and bare. I am secure. There is no dark that can't be lit.
All right, so I got the back stapled into place and I only tacked it in. I'm gonna put more staples in, but I only tacked it in case I have to take them out for some reason.
There is no them and us, together we're strong.
Okay, so we just have to make sure this side stays pulled tight while we do the bottom side.
Down to the deepest valley, hear a voice calling you. It's the rising sun, shining in the darkest alley. Can't you see you will be free?
So when I sit on it, I'm noticing it's pulling quite hard here, and I'm thinking if somebody that weighs quite a bit sits on this might rip and tear over time. So I'm thinking I maybe should give it a little bit more. I pulled it pretty tight on the bottom. I'm thinking I should pull the staples on the bottom and re-staple them so that there's a little bit more slack. Okay, not bad, not bad. And it's still got slack back there. I like that, some slack, so I'll make it last longer. Alrighty then. Okay, now I got the edges to do. Side's done. It took probably 2 hours. Still got that one to do.
First part of the sofa took so long that I actually forgot I had another part to do, and this part was the worst. It was not fun at all. I ended up doing it in 2 sections, or I had to do it in 2 sections. The side by the arm was the hardest. These corners ended up being a lot easier and came together a lot easier than I thought they would, and they looked a lot better in the end than I thought they were going to look. For the end, I ended up just bringing the edge completely down like I did with the other part, and I just stapled it in. I was so tired of this by the end of it that I didn't even put a hem on the bottom of this part. I was just ready to be done. Surprisingly,
This side that gave me the most trouble and that I did not think I had the skills to do turned out better than this side, which I was very confident to attack. I would never do this again. I think if this falls apart, I'll just throw a blanket over it until I can afford to get a new sofa, to be honest. I didn't expect it to take 2, 3, 4. I think it took 5 hours. And I am exhausted and I have more to do today, so I don't know that I would ever do anything like this again, to be honest. I guess if I had to, I would, but I guess if you can afford to buy a new sofa, I would probably just do that, unless you're a very adept seamstress, which I am not. But it does look better. I'm glad it's done.
While I was working on the sofa, one of my Black Friday finds came. I got a new soap making box. All I have is molds at this point, and I wanted a larger soap making box. This was only $12. I love Black Friday finds.
They used fresh pine to make these. It smells like it's freshly cut pine. I wonder if these are gonna last very long. They smell good.
To finalize spiffing up this sofa, I have this pillow that fell apart, and the cushions on the back of this sofa could use some more padding. So I am using this stuffing that would otherwise be thrown away, and I am shoving it in the back of these just to add some more fullness to them since they needed some more. I bought Ruggables 3 years ago maybe. I showed them to you guys in a video. I hate them. They curl so badly, and nothing I have tried really seems to help fix them. They're so pretty though. So I came up with the bright idea to use them as decor in other places, like the back of the sofa. Kind of help completes the bohemian look I like to don for my house. Every winter I start working on blankets. I'm trying to make a crocheted blanket for each one of my children. Well friends, that's all for today's video. In either the next video or the video after, I'm hoping to have a kitchen reveal. I think our kitchen will be completed, so come back next week to see.